what is the deal with these craft beers? Like, you believe young people are actually out there drinking these craft beers? Like, hey, newsflash, all right? They don't taste anything like beer, okay? They're like fruity and pleasant. Beer isn't supposed to taste good, okay? It's supposed to toughen you up, all right? Every drink is supposed to make you more of a man. When I was in high school, me and my friends, we used to drink mouthwash. Look how we turned out, right? Man's men. I mean, I forget everything I was going to say. I'm sorry. I'm kind of phoning in on this one, guys. Like, I really don't have that strong of an opinion on craft beer, but, like, you know, these weekly quotas, you know. Like, I know that, like, all my other rants have always been from the heart, but I've been kind of phoning this one in just because it's like, you know, I'm trying to get more views and stuff, and my ex-wife has been coming at me for, like, alimony and shit, and it's just like, you know, I wanna go out there and I want my rants to really, you know, be funny. I want to get monetized and have a channel. I was thinking maybe I'd have my own show someday. Like, I don't know what I would call it. I think I would maybe, you know, Rob Goes Crazy. I don't know. It's just a vague idea. Maybe a talk show where I can, like, sit down with people and we'd have outrageous conversations and shit. But, yeah, it's just, you know, it's like I'm being pressured by my, I guess the right word would be producer. That's this woman I'm seeing right now. She's really helping me, like, you know, putting the channel up and, you know, giving me time, you know, because, like, again, this is, like, one of the first things that's really phoned in, you know. The other time she just kind of, like, you know, she gives me some time, like, what do you think about this? Maybe you could talk about it. And I try to, but, yeah, I got, like, you know, I mean what I say about the craft beer. It's just I don't feel so that strongly about it. You know, I do feel like drinking beer should make you tougher, and it's like, you know, this fruity stuff. Like, get out of here, kid. You know, but yeah, you know, I've been writing down all my rants on, like, scripts, and it's like I'm supposed to, like, phrase them in certain ways in order to hit, like, the certain buzzwords. You know, epic winning and all that shit. But I don't know. Like, I grew up watching all that rant comedy and stuff, but I feel like that game's over, you know, like that the old days where a funny guy could just yell at a camera are no longer a thing. Like, I'm just an old soul, you know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like, is this even what I want to do? Like, I do like entertaining people. I do like coming up with funny analogies for when I'm, like, doing stuff, you know. Like, you know, finding the funniest way possible to tell that, you know, I'm telling true stories, don't get me wrong. But, you know, I don't want to say, like, exaggerate, but, you know, I find the funniest way of wording it. And I do, like, have joy in that, but I don't know, you know. It's just like, why am I doing this? I mean, I did enjoy it at first, but, like, lately, because of the whole, like, because at first it was just spontaneous. It was just something I just started doing. But now with, like, the more structured design, I'm, like, filming these videos in bulk. I'm literally parked in the same spot. Like, I got, like, 30 episodes I'm going to read in a row, acting like, you know, these all just happened to me. Meanwhile, these are collections of things that have happened throughout my life. And I'm posting them on YouTube, and they're barely getting any views right now. And I'm thinking, like, maybe I should be on a different platform. Maybe I should be on TikTok or something. But, you know, it's TikTok. That's like that's owned by the Chinese government. They're using it to spy on people. And it's kind of like a pick your poison kind of thing. You know, are you willing to sell your soul to the Chinese government just to make enough money to get by? And honestly, I'm kind of at the point where, yeah, I am considering it, because it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, you know, I've never done this. I've never gone viral. I've never been a big thing. So it's like, maybe it's like, this is the right pace. You know what I mean? But it just feels like it's not coming up fast enough. I'm not getting enough results back. You know, like, when you work out, you at least feel the soreness, and, like, you know, after a little bit of time, you can see yourself getting better. But, like, I'm at the point where it's like, imagine if you worked out, like, every day, but, like, it didn't feel like it got any better, you know what I mean? Like, for all you know, it's, oh, sorry, I just got distracted. There's some kids behind me. I couldn't tell what they were in my rear view. It's like a baby carriage. You know, it's just one of those things where some feedback would be nice, you know, some recognition would be nice, even if I wasn't making the money, you know? Just a nice little recognition that it's all not for nothing, that I'm not crazy, that the world is this, like, wild, crazy place, you know? That the powers that be are trying to divide us and trying to make this generation soft by, like, coddling them with their craft beers and their, you know, their participation trophies and all that shit. And I want to make a thing. It's not that, like, each of these things in and of themselves are a bad thing. It's just that they're symptomatic of a bigger problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, you could still be a tough guy and enjoy a craft beer, but it's like eventually, you know, you compound all these soft things, your toughness goes down, you know? Not only that, I've been having weird dreams lately. I've been dreaming that, I call them dreams because I'm asleep, and, you know, you would think they were a dream, but it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels like I'm actually receiving, like, telekinetic messages from, fourth dimension beings. It's just odd. Like, they're telling me that, you know, I need to spread the message. I need to keep going, and, like, I need to be the savior of this world. And it's a pain in the ass because it's, first of all, it's hard to get any sleep at all at night because the ghosts keep me awake a lot of the times. I got a ghost problem in my house. They like to, like, you know, shake the bed and just be dicks. But other than that, like, you know, for the most part, it's not a big enough problem that it's like I'm gonna, you know, move out of the house. Like the ghosts aren't trying to hurt me or anyone. But it is like a minor annoyance, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't want to say I was asking for it, but, you know, the guy, when I bought the house, he warned me it was haunted and what would happen. And it's not that I didn't believe him, it's just that I didn't realize it'd be as bad as it was. Anyway, I've been getting these dreams. They've been telling me about the future. They've been saying that, that the simulation's going to end soon. And, whether that's good or bad, it depends on what you do with it. You know what I mean? And they're intentionally being vague. I think it's one of those things where they don't want me to know. I think they want to keep me in the... Sorry, for a second I thought there was someone watching me. No. I think they wanted to, you know... They want to keep me vague. They're trying to keep me, they want me to take action without knowing why or what the consequences are going to be. But, yeah, it's just a whole weird thing, you know? Like, trying to make a living off YouTube in these crazy times. Because I don't know when this video is going to be uploaded. Because, like, that's what my producer does. She doesn't even watch the videos. She just uploads them. I imagine she's not even going to see the whole video. She's just going to see the, start watching it, you know, see I'm talking about craft beer and be like, oh, this is a long video. I bet he had a lot to say about craft beer, and then upload that. But I don't know. It's not that they don't want me talking about this kind of stuff. It's just, you know, they talk about, you got to think about what's good for the algorithm and, like, getting people involved and shit. It's just like, you know, I'm a simple man. I don't know about no algorithms or, like, computer stuff. Like, my producer, God bless her, she's been trying to explain it to me, breaking it down, and I've been learning a little more, but, like, overall, I feel like a fucking pit bull in a ball pit. Like, what's going on here, you know? Yeah, I had some craft beer the other day. I bought, like, a 6-pack of something, because it's one of those stores where, like, their whole thing is we sell craft beer, and you can, like, get, like, a 6-pack of, like, all different kinds. Like, you can, like, mix and match and make your own 6-pack. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I like beer, and I wanted to be open-minded and actually try it. But, like I said, it just reinforces how I feel. It's just, it's not tough enough, you know? And I feel like we need to be tougher because the world's ending. These are the end times. It's going to happen. The simulation is ending. And if we don't toughen up, if we're a bunch of pansies, and that's going to be the end of, well, I don't even know, because I feel like it's all going to be the end anyway. Like, these are the end times. It doesn't matter how tough or how weak you are. It's all over. You know, like, the illusion is ending. There's nothing we can do. It's all control of the leader, whatever. And like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're gonna be the ones chosen to live in the new simulation, or if we're gonna have to rebuild after the simulation ends, or what the simulation ending even entails. Like, what does that mean? Like, is the world that we're all gonna wake up to, is it anything like this world? You know what I mean? For all we know, we live, everything in this world is a complete fabrication, like things that we take for granted, like oxygen and gravity, and maybe those are just constructs of the simulation, and that in the real world that we're gonna awaken to, the next dimension world, maybe those concepts don't exist. Maybe they're not a thing. Maybe we will be in a world without gravity, a world without time, or maybe a world where time exists but it's non-linear. And I can't wrap my head about what it would be like to actually exist in non-linear time. And I think, maybe that's part of the limitations of the someone just walked by. There's a lot of people walking out here. I'm not normally one of them paranoid people who think like they're after me or they're listening, but like, it is cold out. It is cold as a witch's tit out there. And I feel like there is an unusually high number of people have just passed by. I mean, I know that statistically I never like sat around and watched and saw how many people like walk by on an average day, so I don't have a basis for, it's a high or a low number. It just feels odd. Like, I record these in my car, and it's like after every couple of recordings I gotta turn the heat on and like warm up for a bit. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting paranoid or whatever. It's just scary talking about this because like people don't want change. People want to keep the simulation going. You see, that's what the rich and the politicians are going. They want the simulation to keep happening. Either that, I don't know if they're aware that it's a simulation, or if they don't know it's a simulation. But their goal just happened to align with keeping the simulation going. They want this world to keep continuing to exist. And I understand where they're coming from, because the idea of leaving this world and like, having us all awaken is terrifying, like, because what's on the other side? For all we know, like, I joke, but like, for all we know, we're all worm people on the other side, without limbs or without eyes, or like, who knows what we are on the other side. And like, they want to keep this thing going because a lot of them have a pretty good deal, you know what I mean? They're the rich, they're the elites, they got all the money and the power, and like, why would you want to give that up? Why would you wouldn't want to give that up? And to a degree, I don't want to just make it sound like this is like a necessarily just a class issue, because it's an everybody issue, because you don't want to give up what you got for an uncertainty. If I said, hey, we're going to the next dimension, we don't know what's going to be there, but you might lose, your family, or even like not even just your family in general, but like your sense of family, your sense of identity, your perception of time, all your senses, your limbs, your everything could be like completely thrown out, and it'd be like, why would I want to do that? I want to stay here. This is nice, But I don't know. This is like, I try to talk to the beings in my dreams. They take different forms depending on like what we're talking about, because it's not always doom and gloom. Sometimes they'll be playful, they'll be silly, they'll take forms of famous comedians or like cartoon characters. They'll do silly shit. Like sometimes like they'll turn into like famous cartoon characters, and they'll start like blowing each other, you know what I mean, to make me laugh. And other times like they'll turn into like horror movie monsters and like try and chase me and hurt me, because like, and it's one of those things where it's like, they'll be sending malicious energy at me, but I know they're not being malicious. I know it's so hard to make sense, you know what I mean? It's not that they get off on hurting me or that they want to hurt me, but they need me to understand that this hurt is a part of what's happening. And I talk to them, and I ask them questions. They don't always answer, or sometimes they'll give fucking the kind of answers that like, don't make sense to me. Maybe they'll make sense in the illusion. Oh, and another thing that they're trying, that they did talk to me, and I did clear up about, this whole idea of when we wake up to see the real world. I want to make this clear to anyone out here. I don't want anyone misinterpreting it, because as far as my understanding from the other beings, like, this is not like a metaphor for death, okay? Like, basically they talk about how like that it isn't like, you know, it's not like a metaphor for heaven or something like that. It's not at all we need to die so we can get to the other dimension. That's not it at all. They made that clear like several times. They enunciated it a lot. Like when I was depressed, they were telling me like you can't end your life because if you die, you won't be able to transcend. You know what I'm saying? Only the living will transcend to the next realm. And I asked what happens to the dead. They say that's something different. You know, we're not like we know. You know, like that's not our domain, and that's not your goal. Don't worry about them. Okay, they're taken care of, but you need to keep going. So you know, don't kill. Do not take the lives of your fellow higher beings. Do not take your own life. You and your humankind, you need to transcend. I'm sorry. I know you guys click on my videos because you want me to be silly and just talk about shit, but this has been on my like for a while now. Next week, you know, back to the same funny routine. Yeah. Thank you for listening all the way. If you have any ideas for stuff I should, you know, ask the beings in my next dream or whatever, you know, leave them in the comments and I'll ask, and no guarantee I'll get an answer. If you've heard from these beings, let me know about your experience. Yeah. Am I just polishing the brass on the Titanic right now? Like this world is about to helter skelter, you know, and I'm sorry, that's not a Charles Manson reference. You know, I meant it literally as an actual helter skelter, if you know, like that's, a helter skelter is a name for those one, amusement park slides where it's like a lighthouse looking thing. You know, you go back to the bottom, you go back to, basically it's gonna like spiral out of control. That's what I was saying. And then, you know, the famous cult leader Charles Manson interpreted those lyrics to mean about an oncoming race war, and you know that was just a bad choice of words for that analogy that I just used. And I'm just clarifying this isn't a race thing. No race war. That forget I even said it. Like I'm just saying, I'm just afraid that when the simulation ends, or maybe it doesn't end completely. Maybe it starts. I don't know. I'm just afraid of like what's going on. But like here I am, like the days are winding down for the end of the simulation, and I'm just fucking making goofy videos where I talk about my penis and shit. And I don't know if that's laughing at the pieces. Is that me just kind of laughing as I ride the atom bomb down, or am I just like a fool? You know what I mean? Am I just you know, wasting this time? But at the same time, what is there to do? You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm at war with my head right now. This is just crazy. And I don't like making these types of videos because I've seen like the different kinds of people who make videos that are similar to this, and a lot of them have like violent undertones, and I want to emphasize that at all. There is no violence here. The beings emphasize that to me, that like violence. More people walking by. The beings emphasize to me that violence really is not the answer. That this overthrow is like going to be like a spiritual, mental thing, and that when we engage in violence, we actually get further away from the end of the simulation. That explains why the politicians are trying to keep us fighting all the time. Yeah. Sorry about that. If you like this video, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe because this is their first time seeing me. This is not my average content. Like I want to say I had a breakdown, but it's like, you know, I don't have anyone I can talk to about this. It's like anytime I try to bring this up to my producer, she just dismisses me. She doesn't believe me. She just thinks I'm having nightmares. She doesn't believe me about the ghosts. And it's one of those things where it's like I can't even be mad at her because I get it. Like, if it wasn't happening to me personally, I would have her opinion. If someone else was telling me this, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry about your nightmares. Maybe you have mental health issues or something, you know? So it's like I'm understanding. Like that's another thing I exaggerate or play up in my videos. I'm very understanding about shit, you know. I just exaggerate for comedic purposes, you know what I mean? Like when my son he has a bucket in his room that he defecates in, and he empties it like, you know, once a week or whatever. you know, I'm venting my frustration about being a father, having to deal with that. But, you know, I get where he's coming from. Like when he explains his reasoning to me and stuff, it's not like I don't get it. I'm not, you know, it's just like a thing where it's like, this is hard, you know, like, you know, like we're just not in sync about things, and I need you to listen to me. And he's just, you know, it's just crazy. It's just, I'm sorry. Like I said, I've been rambling. If this is your first time seeing my video of mine, this is the first video you're seeing, you shouldn't subscribe, because like this is not regular content. This is not what I do. It's more closer to what the beginning of the video, where I just rant and I just complain about like stuff, you know, talk about my ex-wife and talk about my kids and you know, it's, you know, kids today and shit like that. Just have fun, just bitching about stuff, you know. So I say check those videos out. They've got their lot better tone. You know, they're more funny, they're more playful, and, you know, hopefully you guys can like and comment, subscribe, and all that, because I'm gonna try and get a Patreon going at some point, because I really do want this to be my source of income. Because if I can just make videos all the time, you know, like this could be yeah. Thank you for listening.